Yo, G, they can't stop me from rapping, can they? Can they, hop? I spit it.
Of course, Mark being the athletic director of FEU saying, if you control the transition of Ateneo, you have a chance. And speaking of transition,
Alunino checked in recently pero naagawan ng bola.
That's another turnover.
Romeo all the way. Yes! FEU on top by 2 and here's a steal by Romeo. Great play on the passing lanes and Romeo makes it a
it's a 3, wala. 6:30 to play for 4 points for FEU, 6 para sa Ateneo. Romeo, dire-diretso. Romeo taking it away. Romeo against Elote. Romeo puts it up and in. Deng. Inside to AVO. Nandun na si Pogoy. Turnover points. And Fasa comes away with it. Almost a steal. Yes, a steal. By Romeo. No prepaid goal lang na go. Halfway point of the quarter. Tumatakbo ang Tamaraws. Romeo up and in.
Pero hindi nga nagiging maganda ang nagiging contribution ni Hardgrove. Now this is a good opportunity.
It's a wild sequence. Romeo, Mami on him. That's a foul.
Game, a 3-possession ball game. No more timeouts on the part of FEU.
Oh, what a shot.
Romeo hops inside. Kay Sewa o kay Bronduyal. Nagkagulo-gulo. Ito na ang FEU. May nakuha na naman na steal and still down by 15. Romeo.
Tap going to Nutel. 5 out of 18 for FEU from the 3-point area. That's a great move. 5:28 remaining in the fourth quarter. Phoenix on a trip mong drive. Ikaw on a trip mo. Phoenix fuels life, creating space for himself. Take away. Romeo. All the way. Babalik po tayo dito sa Studio 23. Tignan muna natin itong Tattoo U-Stick fast break. Space. Mami cannot take care of the ball. Romeo against 2. Flores on him. Romeo inakyat pa! With Meals and a Suzuki fast break of the game brought to you by Suzuki's newest compact sedan, Swift Desire. Suzuki, a way of life.
On the bench right now for UST. Romeo pull up from deep. Drills it home. Garcia. To Romeo. Pull up from deep. Hits! Up ahead for FEU. Terrence Romeo pull up. Get 6 on the 24. Romeo pull up from deep. Hits!
Consistency in terms of execution para sa bench. If you can get the same production, di maganda. Mas okay. Exactly.
Romeo.
Nangyari, bakit nila na-control si Romeo sa second quarter, TJ, na after he came up with 10 big points?
They commend each other for a job well done, and for the others, they didn't seem to forget that there's...
Neo. Romeo will try another 3, and again he connects. Shot. The tap going back to Romeo for 3. Gets it to go. A lot of time on the shot clock, but Romeo shoots.
Pull up. Romeo knocks it. Second to the last in terms of turnover points ang Adamson. Ito na naman si Romeo to Garcia. RR to Terrence Romeo from the corner. 3 on the way. In the last 2 plays, allowing FEU some good looks here. Oh, and there's another 3.
Jail. Garcia finds Romeo. Stop and pop.
Deploy that 2-3 zone. 5 na ang assist ni Ray Parks. Tying his season average. Trying to go for a split here against NU in season 75. Romeo!
Sotros, Tampos, and AVO. Hardgrove, Romeo, Garcia. Cruz, and Mendoza to Romeo for 3. Gets it.
This is a different opponent that they're facing now in FEU.
Romeo, this time, that's as open.
Na hinahanap at pinipilit ng FEU players na maibalik ang paglalaro na ginagawa nila ng first.
White and red. Inigo pumasok na rin para sa FEU. Senchu, Romeo, tumira na 3. Gets it. Colombia. Gives it to Romeo. Free for a 3. Gets it.
That Coach Bo has fielded in have scored for Ateneo. It's only Aram who hasn't had a field goal yet. Romeo from the corner. Yes!
Shooting percentage for this game.
Well, they started off at 60 as Romeo.
that they're trying to build for this FEU squad.
Romeo shifting and then setting up Senchu.
Of FEU prior to this game, he said win or lose,
as long as Adamson wins the last game of this first round.
Opponents. Natapik ang bola from behind. Eximiniano leading the way. Yes! Romeo, guarded by Terzo. Romeo knows he has the advantage. Oh, nice pass. Eximiniano
In the first half. Para naman sa Tamaraws. Dutel, Romeo, Escoto, Ramos, and Garcia. Ramos from the team and against Adamson by 9. Yep, both games. Eximiniano from the corner. He liked.
Romeo has not scored since that hot 10-point first quarter.
All right. Trying to outmaneuver Long. Ramos. And FEU gets it back with 12 to shoot. Romeo. Underneath the Pagoy. Defense by FEU. Romeo has Bello on the other side.
You know, I had to totally shut him down.
Yep.
You know, we looked at it as a team.
Gives it up to Romeo. 26 seconds and a 10-point lead. Romeo to Hargrove. Hargrove with a slap. A minute and 5. Romeo gets away so easily from Olivares again. Hargrove. Back to Romeo. The show on Romeo. Naiwanan si Hargrove. Bumawi. Romeo stuttering. Faking. Setting up Tolomia for a 3. Again.
72-70. Good start here in overtime.
Courtesy of Olivares.
Pass though. Romeo.
Aggressive move inside. Romeo has that fire in his eye. Dishes. And Juan Igrain Mendoza ang bola. It's with Romeo right now. 4-on-1. Make that 4-on-3 break.
Practice, si Marcus Daudet na parte ng national team para kausapin at magsilbing inspirasyon na din sa FEU boy.
But within the rhythm of the offense, not just forcing his shots. I think it's interesting to see how patient Coach Julie will be to keep him on the floor.
Oh, Binawi.
17, 11, and 21 for UST, 19, 15, and 18. So third quarter, 3 and 5 points. The three-point shooting of UST is going to keep them and give them a chance to win it in the clutch.
Inuupuan ng NU right now, 51-33. Romeo from outside.
Played 2-3 zone almost the entirety of the second half. So let's see if this will be the one that will get
HD, channel 167, available in high definition. And also, simulcast on DZSR Sports Radio. 9 players already. Yep. Romeo from the elbow. Feeling it.
Inside than any other UAAP team. Let's put it that way. He can easily be the starting center in any of the other 16.
What a move by Romeo. Romeo, di makatakas kay Chongson. Mainit. Free throw shooting. They shot 8 out of 12 from that area.
Yeah, on the other side,
Romeo will try to get himself going. Romeo is running, fronted by Monteclaro. Some dribbling wizardry from...
Coach Sherman wants the boys to communicate to pass so that they may pass the ball around and until they get the best.
For National University.
Kung ginawa, pati si Carl Cruz. Romeo, 3 on the way. Romeo, Senchu with a roadblock. Romeo, another 3.
Becomes more deliberate in their offense, and that should stymie the offensive chemistry and defensive.
having to sweep the tournament. That's one thing. The second thing is that it brings you back to the ground because you were...
FEU sapagkat 4-4 ang Lasal. Ito namang FEU 7-1. Romeo with a...
Romeo asking for a clear out.
Romeo posting up the rookie. Romeo swishes.
Charles having to play deep in the post, and he urged Charles na wag nang lumabas and let the attacks come to him. It's not about individuals.
Against Sam Marata for a punch that he threw against the UP player. That was caught and called.
Para sa Adamson in the last game to break that 6-game losing streak. As
the context of the possibility of LaSalle coming up with a few great times with Yellow Cab delivery hotline 789-9999. Great times, great pizza. Back to live act. Romeo the rookie. Floater. Ooh, that's part of FEU. Let's look at this Powerade hyper play of the quarter. The floater, 57-55. Can National U do two things? Close a close game and beat FEU. R.R. Garcia, let's look at this. Romeo goes back, 7 out of 18 from the field. 18 big
Anthony Hargrove inside the paint to start the ball game off.
Well, speaking of aggressiveness, Jason Perkins has to become more aggressive for LaSalle to base on. And then a yellow cap big move by Terrence Romeo. Celebrate great times with yellow cap.
So much from Rodney Brondial here in the third quarter. Not much rebounds, no points. That's a great up and under.
Hindi siya nakakuha ng puntos. At least in the last 5 minutes, eto na. Master winning move, lose the oil, win the game.
Jared Fortuna can't get that long rebound, and Romeo with 5 on the clock. Teardrop, what a move. And that is a 1-point lead now for UP as Romeo.
Our Eastern University. 7 seconds to shoot para sa Tamaraws. Romeo takes it all the way. Yes!
More mental than anything else. Ano yung pag alam mo, defending champion, umiiba yung laro mo. Romeo again with the spin. Ibinaybay pa!
Replacing Mark Bringas. Sticky defense dito by Romeo, but what a crossover! Oh, what a move!
The post up, zags. Terrence spins. Terrence with the floater.
Gliding underneath in the paint. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Romeo drives against Alolino with a
6-5 is the score. Romeo trying to put on the moves on Porter. That's another tough shot.
Work with. That's why Romeo says, give me some ISO here.
What a gutsy move.
Romeo just maneuvering.
To face Ateneo, LaSalle, UST. So they actually have a tougher schedule compared to FEU. And with the way things are going, actually 4 minutes remaining, it boils down to execution, both on offense and on defense.
What great footwork by
that coaching staff of FEU. Center of the future for FEU. Romeo, crossover move. Mendoza was all over it. Romeo! Back here at the Araneta Coliseum for a Nissin Yakisobrang move brought to you by Nissin Yakisobrang. Romeo, spin cycle move. Let's give you a Yakisobrang move brought to you by Nissin Yakisoba. Yakisobrang sarap. And Terrence Romeo.